Hey everyone, Lona Gamer Alex here from Yosuki and Games. Welcome to a session of Tyranny. Hope you enjoy your visit.
Will do.
There are people here? Gross. Who would choose to live in this fetid hole?
I had the same reaction. I was like, people are here? Outsiders? Run. Oh. Okay. The ones who got away. Find the leader of the refugees. Bastard's Wound, isn't that the name of the DLC? This is a DLC?
Right.
The Fatebinder, how did you, welcome. Mel. Fatebinder, good day to you. The young man greets you with a smile and distant shouts reverberate throughout the area, steadily growing in volume. As you might have observed, your presence comes as a bit of a surprise. It's unexpected pleasure, to receive an esteemed servant of the court. He bows stiffly, revealing a row of multi-shaped quills along his back. Sage Lantry? What are you doing here? Wait, he knows Lantry?
Could ask the very same of you. Taking shelter in the old walls, that takes nerves and fire. Or wits of stone.
Plumbing the old walls for their secrets is one thing. Trying to live in them? It's a special combination of stupid and unsanitary.
Well, this is unexpected. Though I'm glad to see you alive, my young friend. I'm not here to reminisce. I'm with the Fatebinder now, so I'll need to insist that you start explaining whatever it is you're doing here.
Welcome, welcome. I'm Scribe Mel of the Vellum Citadel, though the title means little here. I'm simply Mel. You'll forgive me, we haven't been expecting company, so, he taps a long quill against his thigh, its feather plume fluttering nervously in return as figures in the distance move in rush motions and speak in hushed panic. What is this place? Now glare silently, I like that always. Welcome to the Bastard's Wound, or just the Wound for short. This place is home to several score of men and beasts of all ages. We've been carving out a life here for a few years now, and we're not dead yet. He cracks a smile, pumping his hands in a feigned victory strut. What's all the commotion about? Visitors are always cause for alarm. Moreover, you aren't just any visitor, outsider, you're a Fatebinder. Too many, it's as if too none just stroll into our homes. Your dispensation of justice could have profound ramifications for little-known and technically hidden settlements such as ours. Some of the refugees here don't know your intentions. No doubt they have little to fear, right? What is this place? I struggle with the definition myself, truthfully. We call this place the Bastard's Wound, or just the Wound for short. It's a refuge of sorts, a haven for folks displaced by war and poor decision making. Everyone that's here discovered this place by chance, but remains by choice. The decor is unorthodox, to be sure, but it does come with the benefit of extreme seclusion. Not that we object to the court's presence or that of the archons. We simply thought it's best to unburden you all the weight of the governance. I know you have better things to do than check up on us. We're fine, really. Everything is fine. You look past the scribe, taking note of the details in this cavernous area. Giant stone walls flank the space and ascend to an open sky, seemingly shorn apart from one another. The thunderous waterfalls cascade down, nearly ringing the stone-tiled islands that comprise the settlement. Though covered by damp moss and man-made tents, the stone architecture here is unmistakably of the old walls. Why are you all here? Entry into the old walls is forbidden. Ah, of course. I can see why things might appear that way, he stammers, running his hands clumsily over the scrolls along his bandolier. He snatches one of its loops and taps at it nervously. If you look at this drawing of the area, we are by way of several fathoms below the old walls you see rising up. So who's to say if we're in the walls or really just underground? I mean, other than Fate Binder, of course, I really mean to suggest that there's some potential ambiguity as to whether we've really done anything wrong. Examine the parchment. Sketch upon the crumpled parchment is a cross-section of what appears to be the old walls running through the mountainous region of the Bastard Tier. If this map is accurate, these old walls run almost entirely under the mountains. The upper reaches of these old walls are just a few stories above the valley floor. Judging from the map, the old wall slopes upward as it travels north and slopes downward as it heads south. Crumple the parchment. Oh. Let's glare silently for now. Please, Fatebinder, I assure you, his face turns flushed with anxiety. None of us intended to be here. You come through the cavern passage, did you not? Then you can see how simple a mistake this all is. We thought we were exploring a cavern. We certainly did not set to explore old walls we didn't even know were buried down here. Settlement in the old walls is illegal. By Kairos' law, everyone must leave. Leave? He winces at your response, his voice cracking as he tenses up. That won't. Mel clears his throat. We have struggled too much. Order us to leave and the others will resist, and regrettably, I will be forced to fight too. Are we gonna kill everybody? Let's not be too hasty. I want to check to see if I can get quests and stuff from these guys. I am not here to condemn the settlement yet. Thank you, Fatebinder. I will merely say that this is an unusual place and its legal standing somewhat unclear. We would never knowingly violate Kairos' law, is what I mean. We appreciate your generosity, Fatebinder. I hope that you will come to appreciate the wound in time. No doubt you have many questions of us. I shall do my best to acquaint you with this outpost. I have questions about the wound and its history. The analysis and creation of historical documents was one of my chief areas of focus at the Citadel, and I've had enough to acquaint myself with the particulars of this place, so I suppose I'm the person to ask. What would you like to know? How did everyone get here? This place was discovered 3 years ago by braver and more adventurous souls than Master Lexerm and I. We're relative newcomers, going on about a year at this point. When Karen smashed Rostam Varus's manor, his supporters fled into the cracked mountainside and discovered this place. At the time, life here with the Bane sounded better than life at war with the Archons. From there, the settlement grew in spurts. We are far off the beaten path, so visitors are rare, but the few we've gotten have often made this place home. Not every encounter with the outside has been positive. When some disfavored found us, things got ugly fast, but the bloodshed was limited to the survivors, and the survivors joined us in the end, if a bit reluctantly. What do you know of this place? Remarkable place, is it not? He stretches his arm apart, looking around for emphasis. We've no idea how old this corner of the old walls happens to be, but the tunnel leading into it came into being a few years ago. Karen's fury was unleashed in a battle on the top side, and the whatever powers he used split under the mountains and fractured these old walls. He points upwards, past the crashing waterfalls and towards the exposed sky. The divided walls flare outward. A giant maw stretched towards the firmament, cracked the whole damn old walls in half, and now sunlight and water are here for the first time ever. Makes me wonder if there. Oh, excuse me. Makes me wonder if there are other old walls like this that are hidden from view to those of us just walking the surface. How do you survive in this place? What do you eat? We get enough sunlight to cultivate crops on the upper levels. Cabbage, nash root, radishes, mushrooms even. The biggest challenge here is drinking water, despite appearances. He leans forward while speaking, his tone energetic. It's a rather interesting phenomenon, actually. Something in the old walls environment leaches into the water and corrupts it, producing the most curious disease in the afflicted. There's no fever or chills, bleeding, vomiting, or what have you, but you will waste away over time as if one were starving. Typecast the wagstaff, devise a method magically treat the water, rendering it safe to consume, and the curative properties for those already sick. The solution is a bit slow at making large amounts, but fortunately, Jaipas constructed some stone aquifers. Water poured into these aquifers will drain a few hours later and emerge purified. Between their contributions, we were able to make the wound a proper home, so long as the two keep squabbling to venom. Do the bane not threaten you? He nods, absent-mindedly rubbing the dried ink between his fingers. Yes, of course, but we have a system for that. You've met our greeting party in the caves, I take it. Incidentally, what happened to... He shakes his head, dismissing the thought. It doesn't matter. The point is that we have contingent of these men with us, and they're adapted exceedingly well to the old walls and show little fear of their abominations. They've been perfectly eager to dig their claws into any that come our way. It's surprising that it even works, by the way. But who am I to argue? At any rate, they keep the entry point to their wound clear and seem content to keep doing so. In fact, I dare say some of them have come to love hunting the Bane, or just have a death wish, and that's why they volunteer to patrol every day. What do you do here? Oops. What don't I do? Someone has to inventory the supplies, take census, ledger trades. It's all pretty unexciting, I assure you. I happen to be playing steward. Balancing numbers is easy for me, and I have been far more responsibilities than I ever did as a mere scribe at the Citadel. Aren't you a bit young to be a sage? If I were a tenured sage, that may be true, but I'm just an apprentice. Many in the guild scribe for decades before attaining rank. As the school is no more, I suppose I'll never officially be counted among the sages, but I am making my contribution to knowledge in my own way. My master takes similarly, though I think the loss of the school means more to her. I had a few years to know other sages. She had a few decades. Where is your master? Master Laxime, or is she the one we're looking for? It's sadly not amongst us. Oh, she vanished into the lower level some time ago. Yeah, she wasn't herself. He furrows his brow, visibly distressed. Life here is rather complicated, and the old walls bless us with numerous mysteries. One of those is unending sleeplessness. an affliction that drove her mad. Lexine, she's alive, so she survived the Edict of Fire. Lantry's eyes widen with surprise, and you hear the clinking of vials of his entire body trembles. Friend of yours? Sage Lexine and I go way back. She joined the school a year before I did, so we more or less ran the paces together. If she's alive, why didn't she try to find me? Nature tried to contact all of the other sages you thought were alive. Right. We tried not to cloud the skies with massive birds that would just give the enemy something to follow. Like me, she probably tried to avoid detection, not light a signal fire. Were you two rivals or friends? Both. We were chroniclers, so there was competition of sorts, but I think I'm allowed to say we got along well enough. Not that many of my friendships survived my politics. I was in favor of surrendering the school to Kairos, highly a popular outlook. Last I know, she went to the depths of the old walls. To me, that's a death sentence, especially if she's no longer able to work her magic. I'm so sorry. I wish I had stumbled upon her sooner. Maybe you would have reconnected with her. Her mind was dwindling, and I know she was fixated on making sure everything she carried out of the Vellum Citadel was safe and hidden. She and I hid one such cache over by the farm. The others are, I presume, deeper in the old walls. Lexine knew an old stage trick that concealed the stashes, making them fade from view, unless another chronicler stands near. When her magic began fading, she made a rush to conceal things, but aside from one stash in the farm, only she knows where the rest lay. Who's in charge here? Unfortunately, that's a matter of debate at the moment. For a while, two men in particular led the settlement: Typecaster Wagstaff, who has been here the longest, and Iron Forge Master Jaspers. They made it possible for us to survive here, but rarely see things eye to eye. Were the conditions here not so fragile, I'm certain they would have come to blows ages ago. There was also a beast woman, Reef Talon. Really quite a remarkable creature, actually. She held this place together and kept tempers at bay until fairly recently. She was worthy a leader, as we've seen in the wound, but she's no longer with us, so the bickering between Jaspers and Wagstaff continues. What happened to Reef Talon? Reef Talon was a bulwark against not only the Bane, but death itself. She had a mystic gift, so we thought. Her touch brought everyone, the wounded, the sick, the dying, back from the edge, but it changed them. The curse wasn't noticeable at first, but seemingly without fail, those healed would slowly but surely stop sleeping. A minor malady at first, but a cumulative one. As days and weeks go by, they lose themselves. Depression, malaise, paranoia, unending into itself. My master Lexine was treated by Reef Talon, and her case, she lost ability to work magic. Between this and some dispute about whether it's proper for Beast Woman to lead humans, resulted in Reef Talon leaving the moon, disappearing into the depths of the old wall. Many of the sleepless followed. The sleepless left haven't returned, so it's hard to be optimistic about any of this. That's unusual. Power. Can't say I ever heard of a Bisman's mystic that does such things. I regret not being a better student of Beastman magics, but I concur. This is most unusual. What's stranger still, Reef Talon did not boast about being a mystic, and beasts are nothing if not boastful. I have a hypothesis. Perhaps she slew so many Bane, their sickly powers have soaked into her very touch. He shrugs, letting out a long sigh. But it's just speculation. I know for sure is scores of lives were inevitably ruined by her healing gift. And folks here have some complicated feelings towards Reef Talon. He pauses in thought, nervously rolling a quill between his fingers. None have recovered, unfortunately. The end result appears to be inevitable. Still, I cannot help but wonder if Reef Talon could have corrected this. It's a shame, you should know, Fatebinder, that there are a small number of people that have been treated by Reef Talon but haven't fully lost their grip on things. Jasper's apprentice. Elsley, one of them. Isley. It is, though, just a matter of time until the worst sets in. Beastmaster was in charge, that's a bit unusual. Indeed, but Reef Talon is the most unusual beast. She's a lot focused, patient, and sensible than all of the other beasts I've encountered. Anyway, Reef Talon was able to organize beasts and humans into effective patrols against the Bane. With her in charge of defense, casualties dropped. No Bane ever slipped into the common area, and disputes between beasts all but disappeared. At some point, it seemed foolish not to have her in charge. We've had a few beastmen wander into our refuge, and I don't know how or why, but life here changes them. I don't know if it's the Bane, something in the water, something about the magics of this place. After a span or two living with us, most beastmen just seem to become more civilized, relaxed. Maybe speak to some of our beastmen. Perhaps you'll agree. I am getting very sleepy though. Please speak with Jackness and Wagtail. The wind doesn't speak with a single voice, but those two come close to such thing. As you turn to leave, you see Landry lost in thought, rubbing his cerulean ink between his fingers and thumb. Guess one of your old friends is here. What should we expect? She's an old friend of mine, and by now you've already detected the understatement in my voice, so ask your question. I wanted to stop, but I can't. An old love interest, I presume? You presume correctly. We were deeply intimate for a better part of 15 years. The school gave up long ago trying to make rules against fraternization. Well, we took full advantage of living in the modern era of the school of ink and quill, when sages could do away with furtive copulation and foolish attempts to curb the natural inclination of scholars to rut. It was a magic I loved most. She was gifted, truly gifted. She could achieve these little accents and the spells, but none of us could replicate. At first, I had nothing but envy and hate for her, but somewhere along the line, it became adoration, and I just hoped to Kairos that if I rubbed up against her enough, maybe some of her talent would rub off on me. No such luck. If you were so close, why didn't you flee the capital together? There was a time when we were inseparable. I learned much of my magic from her and her from me. We are each other's mentor and student. It is a very special sort of bond. But it was a relationship that I followed through my own convictions. In the years before Kairos' conquest, I urged the school to surrender. And urge is an understatement. Rabidly advocated would be a more apt description. Lexine did not share my assessment of Kairos or my opinions on what must be done. I was in the dissenting minority. Most felt I was a warrior, extreme, Lexine included. A traitor, not warrior. See, yeah, I'm losing it. But I wasn't about to back off from my belief that surrender was the right idea. Considering what came to pass, I felt justified in my stance. While I normally adore being right about things, in this particular case, my tumescent smugness maybe isn't worth the friendship it all cost me. What do you make of her condition? From the sound of it, she was affected by sleeplessness, and by all accounts, madness would naturally follow. But if she's down in the old wells and enfeebled, she'd be easy prey for the Bane. Heard anything like this before? Well, there are all manners of magics that can kill persons slowly. Where to begin? I'm more perplexed than she, and by the sound of it, others too, were first healed and then grew ill. So you two worked on a chronicle together. We are but two members of a team spanning generations, but yes, we both contributed to chronicles, long bouts of field work and long stretches of authoring. Our findings suited our temperaments. My colleagues insisted original research was the way to make a name for myself, but according But the accounting of everything is cause greater than us all. Maxime saw the Chronicles half a record of things that were and half records of things ought to be. To her, each moment we record offers universal insights into how people will act in the future. I take the more modest stance, and that you can stand in the same river twice and the same general can't fight the same war twice. So history is limited predictive power. Forgive me, you didn't ask for the nuances of our philosophical debates. What you make of these chronicle fragments you task us to find? My heart sings every time I can safeguard a text against destruction. Still, there is something bothering me about these writings. Let's look around a bit more, shall we? Ask me again when we have a few pieces to compare. Okay. Whoa. There was an option earlier about do you know about Mage L, but I guess that's Lexime. What do Wagstaff and Jaspers argue about? Few things that matter. I do not mean to belittle those men, but I often feel like they both demand exaltation, more importantly, want whatever adoration someone else is getting. He clears his throat, turning red with a smile. Though they're magic, they make life possible, and we all look up to them. I think they both feel a genuine sense of duty and protect us all. Too bad they don't get along despite their shared goals. Talk to them directly and you'll see what I mean. Keep in mind things weren't always like this. The Beast Woman Reef Talon had always been keeping things civil, but since her disappearance, all grievances have reemerged. Whatever happened to Sage L is definitely a Lexine.
Well, one moment, my friend. Just let me finish this thought.
Mage L. Alright, well, I'm gonna stop here. I only played the game for what? About a half hour? There was a lot of text, and I took a nap like half hour before I started the stream, and I thought I could handle it. Maybe I just needed a longer nap. But anyway, thanks for watching. Give the video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. Until next time. Bye. Yeah, I really do want to finish this game though, that's for damn sure. Oops, I think I pressed the wrong button. Here we go. That should change the scene now.